medal race comes in the PR3 mixed double. This debut boat division here in Paris 2024. Making it 5 medal events, the increase from the previous para rowing program. 11 entries. There's an Altschwager, the favourites, Paralympic Games best time setters in 7:11.30, and that same crew set the world best time on the Barresi Lake in June of 2023. France, Brazil, Germany, Australia, the Brits, Ukraine go in this para rowing final. Looking for another glory performance in front of home support is Guilain Marchand and Laurent Cadeau, world champs, bronze medalists. Cadeau actually with Vela Alberdi, but Guilain, a 55-year-old, has come into this boat, and they'll be brought home by a riotous support in the grandstands here. Invitation boat goes in lane 2, 6th at the world. Diana Barcelos de Oliveira, Jairo Klug from Brazil. They were in the 4 in Tokyo, finished 10th there. European silver. These are dangerous outsiders here. Jan Helmich and Herman Krumben, 5th at the Worlds. That was Krumben and Valentin Lutz in the boat there. Jan has come in to give him a bit of extra kick. World champions, 8:07.07 was that time they won in Belgrade a year ago as an Altschwager, and start as the gold medal favourites in this race. The European champions come from Britain, Sam Murray and Annabelle Caddick, just off the podium at the Worlds, 4th. Been a fabulous day thus far on the waters here for Britain. European bronze, 7th at the Worlds, the B final winners, but here they are going for a medal. Top 6 finish for Daria Kotik and Stanislav Samolyuk, the married couple from Ukraine. Race in lane 6.
Well, these are our history makers, aren't they? Our first Paralympic champions in this event about to be crowned in just a few minutes' time.
France, Brazil, Germany, Australia, Great Britain, Ukraine. Attention, red light.
Paralympic history being written right here, right now on the waters of Vers-sur-Marne, northeast of Paris. First medals to be awarded in this mixed double sculls A final for PR3 athletes. We have France, Brazil, Germany, Australia, Britain and Ukraine in the race. Out quickly, Helmich and Krumben. They were really strong in their heats, weren't they? And have to be in that conversation for the medals.
I think they do. This German crew, to me, is just such a special teams boat. They have such a fast start and such a fast finish. We've seen them kind of fade a little bit through the middle of the race, but come back really strongly through people in the last closing meters. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that crew in the center lane, that German crew, to challenge this Australian dominance that we've seen in this PR3 mixed double, because here they come now. It's the Aussies just working through that early German lead as we cross over the 250-meter mark. Yeah,
that foot down to the floor being deployed now by us and Altschwager, the winners of World Rowing's 2023 Para Crew of the Year award. These two, Nikki Ayres and Jed Altschwager, become the ones to beat in this first Paralympic cycle in this event. 2023, twice set a new best time on their World Rowing Cup debut in Zagreb before winning the World Champs, and by several lengths as well. And they're pushing out into a significant lead. It is nip and tuck behind for Germany and Britain. Helmich and Krumben, Murray and Caddick. That may well turn into the battle for silver and bronze. It's Australia, not by a million miles, but the Aussies are ahead here.
Well, we're not going to write off Laurent Cadeau over there at the top of the screen, representing France, riding in the stroke seat of this French double. Just so experienced. We've seen him have some very good results over the years. and we'll expect him to come on strongly through the middle of the race as well. So let's not write them out of this story yet, but it is going to be eyes on this Australian crew that's leading the field now. Look at them, they've just strided out into their base rhythm, looking very loose, very confident out there in front. Altschwager and Ayers doing so well just to lead this field, but not quite out to that full boat length yet, because here we go, we have a nice shot of Annabelle Caddick and Sam Murray, who are chasing very, very hard at the bottom of the picture here. Just half a boat now between GB and Australia, but Australia really understroking the Brits at this stage, looking a lot more relaxed. Does look like they're more on offense at this point, and maybe even the GB boat just on defense, maybe a little bit edgier, a little bit more nervous there, and the GB boat just striking a little bit higher. We see that German boat hanging on in there too, and currently in that bronze medal position as we're crossing over the 750-meter mark.
Well, Murray and Caddick nicely poised here, running 1:12 down at the 500 quarter race distance, and seem to be gaining stroke by stroke, perhaps inspired just a few moments ago by that finish by Rouse and Stevenson in the PR2 mixed final. Sensational win for Britain there, as well as Ben Pritchard's gold medal performance a little earlier in the single. It is still Ezen Altschwager, but the Britons gaining with every stroke here, and Germany currently in third place, Helmich and Krumben. They were 1:44 down at the quarter. Murray and Caddick will be happy enough at present. Ayers and Altschwager were always going to be the favourites for this gold medal race, but with that comes its own particular heavy pressure. Can they hold off the Brits here as we come up to the K? It's going to be very close, you know.
That's a tiny, tiny margin, and a huge challenge that we're seeing coming from this Great Britain boat against this dominant Australian duo. Altschwager and Ayers are going to have their work cut out for them in this third 500-meter. Both of these programs known for having such strong middle sections of the race, really relying on length, patience, maturity, really focusing on not going up too high too soon. We see that here in this experienced Australian duo, just maybe taking the rate up just a beat now, just to answer the call from the Britons here on the bottom of the picture. But going stroke for stroke here, it is these two crews from Australia and Great Britain that are really taking a hold of this race out in those gold and silver medal positions.
Well, Ez was just off the podium in the 4 in Tokyo. It's a nice rhythm she's got going with Jed Altschwager. They teamed up in 2022, these two. There's not much movement in terms of the gap right now between Ezen Altschwager and Murray and Caddick, but it was shaved down to just 300ths in between the 500 and the 1K marker. They still just about have it, Ezen Altschwager. Murray and Caddick will look to up the stroke rate as we come into the final 500 and look to emulate Rouse and Stevenson, who came past their competitors to win a sensational race a little earlier in the other boat division. But it is still the Aussies, Ezen Altschwager from Murray and Caddick, and Helmich and Krumben being dropped a little off the front two at present. But they are 1, 2 and 3 here in this PR3 mixed double.
Well, the Germans look like they might just be biding their time here in that bronze medal position. We've seen them come back so fast with such a deadly execution of a sprint in the last 500 meters, and I'd say if these two crews leading them at the moment are not over a boat length ahead by the time we get to the last 500 meters, they are going to be under threat for whatever medal they currently are holding, because it is so close to call between the Aussies and Great Britain. Could go either way between these crews as we come up to the line, but Germany look like they've got just that open water deficit, so it might be too much to overturn or change the color of their medal at the moment, but we'll see and anticipate that fast sprint from them. Does look like we've had a decisive shift in that Australian boat. They've taken up the rate, up in the intensity a little bit there, and the urgency. Ayers and Altschwager just starting to edge away from this charge from Annabelle Caddick and Sam Murray of Great Britain, who have not yet responded by taking up the rate.
Yeah, they up their lead over the Brits, and Altschwager up the 1500 to 1:22. Let's remind ourselves that the Aussies have the world best time of 7:07:02, Paralympic Games best time of 7:11:30, and here come the Germans. Helmich and Krumben hit the throttle and are looking to take down Murray and Caddick now, who really have to dig in to hold on to silver medal placing the Brits. I don't think it's going to be gold. It's not going to be another gold for the Brits. Ayres and Altschwager have this in the palm of their hand here for the Aussies.
Yeah, Jan Helmich in the bow seat of the German boat, just looking over a couple times there because he's feeding off of the momentum that they're building in that German boat. He knows that they are going to take down this German boat on the move because look at the speed that they found in the German boat. We knew it was coming, and here it is playing out right before our eyes. Absolutely timed to perfection. These special teams experts in this German combination are mowing down this silver medal Britain crew here in these final closing meters. Jan just looking over at Sam, knowing he's pulling even, and here they come up to the line, challenging up into this Australian boat. It is going to be Australia over the line. Last few strokes for them, and so close to call.
The Aussies take it. I think it was the Brits who had it.
Ooh, that was a great response.
I'm not putting any money on it, but I think it was the Brits who just about had it there from Helmich and Krumben at the line. But Australia have a first ever gold medal in para rowing, and it's thanks to Ayres and Altschwager in the PR3 mixed double. They write their name into the Paralympic history as the first ever winners of this event. And Murray and Caddick,
there you go.
They confirm there with the silver medal. Helmich and Krumben perhaps didn't start that sprint early enough. Boy, oh boy, they had to use every ounce and the fibre of their being there, Murray and Caddick, to hold on to that silver. But Ayres and Altschwager in control. The world champions become the Paralympic Games at best champions. Of course, they're spent, but they have made history. The Aussies finally have a gold medal in para rowing. 7:28.19. Murray and Caddick get Britain on the podium again, and Helmich and Krumben for Germany. That's only Germany's second ever para rowing medal. It's a third. It's a bronze. That was a great finish.
Well, we knew that sprint was going to come from the Germans, didn't we? We've seen them employ it so successfully. Unfortunately for them, Annabelle Caddick and Sam Murray also knew it was coming, so they had an answer in the bag this time, and they just managed to hold them off by the tiniest of margins to hold on to the silver. 12
hundredths at the end there for Murray and Caddick. And the Aussies do it. There's an Altschwager is following on the back of Eric Horry's bronze. It's a gold.
Absolutely supreme in this Australian boat. Handled every challenge thrown at them by this British combination. Saw them shift in the last 500 meters. It was decisive, and off they went. Held on to the lead, executed perfectly. Gold. For the first time ever in this event, down in history is the first Paralympic champions in the PR3 mixed double. Nicky Ayres, Jed Altschwager for Australia.
Great addition to the program as well. Fantastic racing there.
Yeah, well, so many of these athletes have spent some time in the four, transitioned into this boat, and here we are. Great fit for them. Our first medalists in the PR3 mixed double. Happy, happy there.
So it was 4 silvers coming into this regatta in Paris for the Aussies. Eric Horry has added the bronze. It is a first gold medal